We're going to illustrate how a model allowed a client to avoid a potentially costly issue that existed between the structural, mechanical, and reflected ceiling plans. Here you see a portion of the structural plans for the first floor framing in this project. The green hatch indicates poured-in-place walls, and this area here is a mechanical room that will contain some of the HVAC equipment. This CB2 callout for the concrete beam over this opening references the engineer's concrete beam schedule and shows a concrete beam 36 inches in depth. These are the reflected ceiling plans for the basement, and note the ceiling height callout for the area adjacent to that mechanical room. And finally, here are the mechanical engineer's plans showing the duct sizes running through the area. Now let's put all the information in these plan pages together and see it in the construction model. Here is the construction model showing the aspects of the structural plans noted earlier, the poured-in-place walls, and the 3-foot deep concrete beam. You can also see that the mechanical room and location of the equipment are accurately represented in the model. The transparent grayed area represents the 9-foot ceiling height we saw in the reflected ceiling plan. And here, the ductwork is modeled true to the sizes called out. But note that the ductwork passing directly beneath that concrete beam is below the ceiling line of the hallway. That's a problem, and more often than not, one that you may not have recognized until you're standing there looking at it, with that sinking feeling that you hadn't caught that issue at an earlier stage before it was built and in place. However, by having modeled this project beforehand, we were able to recognize this looming issue long before it was an in-place problem requiring a costly correction. Knowing that the plans contained this hidden problem, we approached the structural engineer to devise a solution. The engineer looked at the loads on these beams and determined that the structure would work with those beams being only 18 inches deep, as our modified model shows here. Shallower beams allowed the ductwork to be raised to a point where it was above the ceiling height. By having this model of the project, this issue was recognized in advance and resolved with no lost time, architectural compromises, or additional cost to the budget incurred. ClearPlan, taking the guesswork out of building your projects.